Betrayal, it is just such a uniquely painful thing, isn't it? And what comes after is often just as confusing. We're told we have to forgive, we have to move on, but what does that actually mean for our own safety, for our own sanity? So that's what we're going to unpack. How to find that line between letting go of anger and letting ourselves get hurt all over again. And right there, that's the question that just ties us all in knots. It's the core of the whole problem. Does letting go of your anger mean you have to just open the door and invite that person to potentially hurt you all over again? That's exactly what we're here to figure out. All right, so first we've got to talk about something I call the forgiveness trap. You know what I'm talking about? It's that huge pressure from society, maybe even from inside ourselves, that says a good person doesn't just forgive, they have to completely forget. And here's where it gets really tricky, because your gut, your intuition, might be absolutely screaming that letting that person back into your life is a terrible, unsafe idea. And I'm here to tell you, that feeling, that's not a moral failure. That's your survival instinct kicking in. And as we're about to see, it's an instinct that's actually backed by centuries of wisdom. So if that's the trap, how do we get out of it? Well, it turns out this whole modern forgive and forget thing is a massive oversimplification. If you look at ancient wisdom, at sacred texts, the advice is way more nuanced and, honestly, a lot more practical. You know, take this famous line from the Bible. Forgiveness is a core concept, absolutely, but it's paired with this direct command to be wise, to be shrewd, be smart. It's a pretty clear signal not to be naive, not to let yourself get bitten twice in the same spot. It's not about being cynical, it's about being discerning. And we see the same idea in the Quran. While restraining your anger is seen as a noble thing, the betrayal of trust, what's known as amana, which is like a sacred covenant, is a huge deal. You have every right to protect yourself after a covenant like that has been broken. Forgiving them doesn't just erase that right. And the Torah has a powerful concept for this, called teshuvah, which is all about restoration and return. But here's the key. It's not automatic. Trust isn't some default setting that you just flip back on. No, it's a privilege, and it's one that has to be re-earned through deep, genuine, proven change. Okay, so this isn't just about ancient texts. This idea is backed up by some serious heavy hitters in philosophy, and is even supported by what we know from modern science. There are really rational, logical ways to understand all this. I love this one from the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. He basically says the best revenge is to be unlike the person who hurt you. Think about it. When you seek revenge, you're just mirroring their negativity. Real freedom, true power, comes from refusing to hold on to that hate while still being smart enough to protect yourself. And, this makes total sense from a scientific standpoint, too. Our brains are basically wired for efficiency. Trust is like a mental shortcut. It's an energy-saving tool that lets us navigate the world without having to second-guess every single person we meet. So, when someone betrays you, it's not just your feelings getting hurt. On a biological level, it's like a massive system error message flashes in your brain. It's a biological red flag, a warning signal. And to ignore that signal is to literally act against your own survival programming. All right, so we've looked at ancient wisdom, we've looked at philosophy, we've looked at science, and they're all pointing to the exact same incredibly powerful and freeing conclusion. And this right here, this is the key to everything. Okay, look at this. This breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got forgiveness. Notice how it's all internal. It's a choice you make for you. It's about letting go of your anger to protect your peace. Now look at the right, trust, totally different ballgame. That's external. It is a privilege someone else has to earn through their actions. And its purpose isn't peace, it's your safety. They are two completely different things operating on two different planes. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the messy, real world? How do we take this game-changing idea and use it to build smarter, healthier boundaries in our lives? Well, let's get really practical. Think about a family fight over an inheritance. You can absolutely forgive your siblings so that holidays aren't a complete nightmare. But does that mean you give them access to your bank account? No way. That's not being bitter, that's just being intelligent. You can love a parent, but keep them at an emotional or informational distance for your own well-being. At work, you can be professional with a colleague while remembering their track record. So here's a way to reframe the whole thing. Stop thinking of that painful memory as just a wound that you have to keep poking at. Start thinking of it as a hard drive. It's data. It is your brain's own personal security file, And it has been logged for one reason, to protect you in the future. And that changes everything, right? Choosing not to trust someone who has proven they can't be trusted, well, that's not you holding a grudge. It's not about bitterness or resentment. It is an act of wisdom. It's you using your own data to make a smart decision.
Now, I want to be crystal clear about one last thing. None of this, not a single word, is an argument for getting revenge. Revenge is a trap. It's a total dead end. It's like that old saying. It's like drinking poison yourself and waiting for the other person to die. It only hurts you.
And that really brings us to the perfect thought to leave you with. This says it all. You can forgive someone for burning the bridge. Absolutely. You can let go of your anger about it. But you are under zero obligation to rebuild it for them or to figure out how to get them across the water. Protecting yourself isn't a lack of heart. It's a sign that you learned the lesson.